And here we are with Buck Dharma, guitar player, vocalist with Blue Oyster Cult. How are you today, Buck?
I'm pretty good, Greg. Been working my tail off lately. The band's been very, very busy, and we've done a lot of compressed touring. We just did 12 dates in Europe in 15 days. We did 12 in a row and travel on either side. Then we came back and went right out in the United States again for 4 in a row, and we got 5 shows in the following week, one of them which is your town, Edmonton.
Well, I was looking at your itinerary, and that European leg was a grinder, I've got to tell you.
It was. It was a little easier to do 20 years ago, but we're still up to it.
Well, you guys were in Greece, and you were went your way all the way over to England and some other dates. You guys have been really popular over in Europe.
It seems to be getting, we're enjoying a resurgence of some kind, and I don't know exactly why. You know, it seems like we're more popular now than we were 5 years ago. So,
well, you know, I think it might
explain it.
Yeah, it might go back to the music. I mean, there's so many new groups out there, and I really hate to say that a lot of them sound. It's hard to tell group from group, but when you listen to some of the old guard, you know who you're listening to, and Blue Oyster Cult music has always been cutting edge. What was coined the phrase, the thinking man's rock band?
Thinking man's heavy metal, I think is what they called it.
So that's got to be a nice little compliment to you guys to still be and getting that resurgence of popularity like you were saying.
I tell you, Greg, I'm totally grateful for my career. You know, I think it's been a great gift to earn a living doing something you enjoy, and that's really, you know, what everybody I think should have as a goal for a career. It's great, you know, and I never really thought it was going to last this long, and so I am grateful for the opportunity to still do it and make a living from it. It's great.
Yeah, now speaking of it being a long time, you and Eric basically got together back in college, was it? Late 60s?
Actually, it was after we'd both left college, but it was right after that point. Eric's a little older than I am, and I never got a degree, but I met Albert Bouchard, the original BSC drummer, in college, and that's where we teamed up, and we met Eric a little bit later. We met Eric, actually. He was working at a music store. That's how we met him.
Yeah, it's interesting the way that paths cross and stuff sometimes.
Truly.
Now,
I would just say, you know, to your listeners, you know, you always have to be open for opportunities in life, because you never know where they're going to pop up, you know. And sometimes they'll pop up and the window will close and you'll never see it again. You know, you have to be, I think, in tune to be open to opportunities. Yeah,
that's a great piece of advice. I think everybody should definitely be ready, grab that brass ring when it comes around. Now, how did you get involved with music? What got you started?
I always liked it. My dad was a musician. He played weekends all his life, and he still plays. He's 86. He plays horn, and there's not too many opportunities for his music now. You know, he plays the pop standards of the big band era, and he still plays quite well, and does shows when he can.
Yeah, that just shows you the longevity of the music, most definitely.
Yeah, and I studied accordion when I was like 9 years old, and I did that for a while. I didn't really enjoy it, you know, but when I got the rock and roll bug, I started playing drums, and I studied drums for about a year, and I was playing drums in a surf band in junior high school, and then I broke my wrist playing basketball in the street, and while I had the cast on, I couldn't drum, and I was my brother had a really inexpensive acoustic guitar that he'd gotten for Christmas, and I just started messing around with that, and by the time the cast came off, I hired a drummer and started playing guitar full time.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting the way that fortunes roll sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm entirely self-taught on guitar, and when I started, I was just playing on one string, just the high E string.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, I quickly learned, the rudiments of rock guitar playing, and about 6 months down the road, I was pretty decent.
Yeah, that's interesting, starting on one string. So you were pretty young, always been interested in guitars. What sort of instruments? I mean, you started really when Software Underbelly, Stock Forest Group. You were playing SGs, a lot of early Gibsons.
Yep. Yeah, the first SG I played was borrowed from another guitar player, and it was an SG Standard, and I liked that. And then I got an SG Special that was owned by my friend Jeff Richards, who was actually in the Software Underbelly, the band that was the precursor to the Oyster Cult. And when I finally bought my own, I bought a '69 SG, brand new, and I played that for many years until it was stolen in the late '80s. And recently, the Gibson Custom Shop made me a replica of my classic SG, which is just a beautiful instrument, but it's so nice I don't want to take it on the road, so I don't.
No, the road can be a hazardous place. A lot of nice, fine instruments have found their demise.
True.
Now, you've also, I shouldn't say over the last little while, but for a number of years now, been playing Steinbrenners, or Steinbergers.
True, yes. I bought my first Steinberger in '85, and I developed a relationship with the company and went on to endorse them, and I've played them since. And I tell you what I really like about that instrument is the neck shape, the neck profile, and the fingerboard, the way it feels. It's just about perfect for my hands, so I really enjoy playing it. And they've got a new instrument coming out. It's called the ZT3, and I've got a prototype of that, and I'm playing that now. And it's similar but not identical to the old ones.
Oh.
And it's got a lot more wood in it, and it has a new trans trem, which is a transposing tremolo system for guitar players, and it's pretty nifty. So that's coming out pretty soon, retail, but it's not available quite yet.
That'll sure be a nice one for aspiring musicians to get their hands on.
I'm going to bring it to Edmonton, so people who see us there will be able to take a look at it.
Oh, that'll be great. I'll have to get a shot or two to put up on our webpage.
Okay, sure.
Now, Harper also has got a guitar out, a new... they actually did some work with you earlier, I believe.
Mm-hmm, yep. Yeah, I've got a Harper model, and I would tour with that, except that the way we tour now, flying in airplanes, and the baggage restrictions, I only carry 2 instruments with me. I can't carry any more than that, So right now, I've got 2 Steinbergers, which are relatively compact and small instruments in gig bags, and they go in a flight case, which looks like it's made out of cardboard, but it's actually in corrugated plastic, and actually has very good crush resistance, but it's lightweight. So you can get, I can take 2 of those instruments in one case and still have it be under 50 pounds weight.
Well, it's nice to be able to take several different instruments. I mean, they all have their own special tones. So when you're trying to reproduce some of your stuff on stage, do you usually do that through amplification, preamps, and things?
Right now, I mean, the Steinberger is a fairly versatile instrument in that it's got split coils and a relatively open native sound, so that by shaping with tone controls on amplifiers and stuff, I can get a lot of range of tones. But I don't do a lot of fiddling around. I basically get my tone up, and I have 2 drive pedals, which offer 2 different ranges of overdrive, and that and my echoes are all I use.
Now, one of the more interesting instruments that you had was the Vulcan, Giuliano Balestra Vulcan guitar. Can you tell us how that one came about?
Yeah, that was made by Giuliano Balestra, who was a luthier in White Plains, New York. And he was selling the guitars commercially, and he did some repair and restoration work on some of my guitars. And he and I developed a relationship, and I started playing his guitar, and that was a really great guitar in a Gibson style tone. It had DiMarzio pickups on it, and two humbuckers, and it had a fixed tail piece and a set neck body. But the shape of it was, as you know, is sort of a little like a reverse Firebird, but with the horns truncated. Mm-hmm. It was a really good guitar. Unfortunately, I no longer have that. That guitar was stolen too. So
yeah, I haven't had much luck with some of those instruments.
It's like Blue Oyster Cult's lost more instruments over the years than most bands have ever had. You know, well, it's a tragedy.
I had the opportunity to see that one live back in 1980. I think you guys were touring Cultosaurus record, so we had a chance to see it. So it was pretty neat. Now, just
great guitar in the Gibson style.
Yeah, great tone, beautiful instrument. Now, taking a look at the band, you've had the opportunity to play with a lot of great musicians in the group itself. What is the makeup right now?
The current lineup is myself and Eric Bloom from the original band. I know you've talked to Eric also. And our rhythm section is Jules Rodino, who's a member of one of the great talent pool of Long Island drummers, Long Island, New York drummers. And we got Jules by audition. We had an open audition, and he won. And he's played with Papa Chubby and various other artists around the New York area. And he's great. He's been with us a couple of years now, and replacing the retired Alan Lemire is Richie Castellano, who played bass with us previously.
Okay.
But Richie's main instrument is guitar, so Richie plays guitar and keys now. And on bass, our current main bass player is Rudy Sarzo from L.A., and Rudy is famous in his own right. He's been in Quiet Riot. He played with Ozzy in the beginning. And he also played with Whitesnake in the beginning. And he currently also plays with Ronnie Dio.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. You know, the top caliber musicians that you guys are, you really get the opportunity to draw a lot of great talent to you to play with.
Yeah, well, Rudy played with us for about a year now, and he took a leave of absence to do some European dates with Ronnie. And while he was playing with Ronnie, we got Danny Miranda back, and Danny Miranda is the touring bass player for Queen now. In fact, after we finished in England, Danny stayed in England to do some rehearsal with Queen, and they're doing a Hyde Park show, and I think they're going to do an American tour later this year.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting stuff when you get the opportunity to play with that caliber of players.
Oh, yeah, and Danny played with us for 6 years straight.
Yeah, he was on the Heaven Forbid album.
Yeah, he was. He was on the Heaven Forbid album.
And he also contributed... He contributed to the Curse of the Hidden Mirror as well.
And the Hard Day's Night, right. Also.
Now, you guys are very busy on the road, real hard touring band when you're out there. Is there any opportunity for you to work on new material, or is that something that you're just,
We have some stuff in the can. We, having done 2 CDs and a DVD in the 90s and the 2000s, right now, the state of the record business is such that it's hard to get a record company to really pay us enough money to do the kind of record we want to do. So I'd say we're just taking a wait and see attitude to see what happens with the record business, and as far as how it shakes out with CDs and what replaces CDs. our legacy catalog sells actually quite well, and as of now, the majority of the revenues come from downloads and not physical media. So it's an odd time in the record business, no doubt about it.
There was some remastering that was going on with some of your previous releases. Can you fill us in on what might be happening with some of the... I know Some Enchanted Evening, there was a little bit of work being done on that as well.
Yeah. Spectres and Some Enchanted Evening just got done by Sony. They're getting around to doing the whole catalog, but they're taking their time at it, which is okay, because when they do that, they incur expenses which are charged against our royalties. So I wouldn't want them to do it all at once. We'd be back in a situation where we wouldn't actually make any money from the records for a while. But I think they've done a really good job with Some Enchanted and the Spectres reissues. They sound, to me, clearly better than the original CD releases and the vinyl, for that matter.
And you mentioned the DVD as well. You guys have been not big media, the visual ones. You had a few videos that came out. Then you did the Live 1976, the Black and Blue, and then your most recent DVD from Chicago. That's a fantastic one that fans should definitely pick up.
Right, and that concert now is being relicensed for HDNet too, so that's going to be broadcast on HDNet for people that have that.
And that's one for the fans to get the opportunity to see the cheeseburger.
Right. I've never actually seen that concert in HD, so I'm looking forward to tuning in on it. When it was up in the beginning on HD, I didn't have an HD TV, so it was good to see it.
Yeah, there's definitely a great catalog out there. I mean, you guys have put out some fantastic music over the years, and we're really excited to get the opportunity to see you come into town here. So I've got to say thanks so much for spending a little bit of time with us. And is there anything you'd like to say to the fans just before we let you go?
Yeah, a thought just occurred to me. You know what's really nifty, Greg, is that there's a lot of bootleg video of recent and current VOC on YouTube. A lot of the fans post cuts of ours from recent touring up there. So besides all the official product, there's a lot of stuff to see on YouTube. You just have to Google for it, search for it.
The internet is a great place to be able to get a lot of...
It is. It's a great time to be alive. There's no doubt about it. There's just... never before, I think, has humanity had so much, opportunity and access to information. It's just great.
That is a great thing. Well, Buck, I got to say thank you so very much for taking the time. And again, we look forward to seeing you really soon.
Yep, and we always look forward to coming to Edmonton, and we'll be glad to be there, and look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, Buck.
Okay.